At least 2 judges have been arrested for reportedly aiding and abetting illegal immigrants. Well, apparently, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, a Democrat, thinks that he may be the next one to be arrested. Earlier today, he released a 4-minute video, a preemptive strike against the Trump administration, warning against this and criticizing the administration's actions. So, let's take a look at what Tom Homan had to say about this, as well as Tony Evers' response.
Quick, your comments on the Wisconsin governor sending directives to state agencies to not comply with ICE and actually stop your deportation efforts.
Wait to see what's coming.
Any updates on the
I meant what I said. You can not support what we're doing. And you can support sanctuary cities. That's what you want to do. But if you cross that line of impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing illegal alien, that is a felony. And we're treated as such.
The goal of this guidance was simple: to provide clear, consistent instructions to state employees and ensure they have a lawyer to help them comply with all federal and state laws. Nothing more, nothing less. I haven't broken the law, I haven't committed a crime, and I've never encouraged or directed anyone to break any laws or commit any crimes. But when President Trump's hand-picked appointee, Tom Homan, was asked about me and this guidance after he apparently threatened to arrest elected officials across the country, he said, "Wait till you see what's coming." Showing threats like this should be of concern to every Wisconsinite and every American who cares about this country and the values held here. We live in the United States of America, folks. We are a country of laws. The rule of law matters. Following the law matters. In this country, the federal government doesn't get to abuse its power to threaten everyday Americans. In this country, the federal government doesn't get to arrest American citizens who have not committed a crime. In this country, we don't threaten to persecute people just because they belong to a different political party.
It's funny because I don't think the judges were arrested for belonging to a different political party. The charges and accusations against them were very clear. One judge allowed an illegal immigrant, a TDA gang member, to live on his property, and the other judge was accused of actively helping an illegal immigrant evade ICE arrest. That is an obstruction of justice. That is, talk about due process, that is preventing due process from happening. So yeah, to me, Democrat Governor Tony Evers sounds panicked. He sounds worried that he's the next one on the chopping block because just 1 week before Wisconsin Judge Dugan was arrested, his administration released this guidance. Take a look at this email. Dear state employees, we have received questions from state employees regarding what to do in case of an encounter with federal agents at work. Similar to other public entities that have issued guidance, we are providing the enclosed information. If you should encounter U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE, or other federal agents at work, please refer to the enclosed guidance. So what was in that guidance? A lot of it makes sense. If we take a look at number 2, ask the agent for their name, ask for the government issued badge. All of that makes sense, right? You're just confirming that the federal agent is who they say that they are, right? You're ensuring that they have an agent and that they're following the law. But take a look at number 4. Do not do any of the following. Don't answer questions, including when an agent asks about someone you know or presents a warrant with an individual name. Basically, they're asking for non-compliance for state employees. I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds like obstruction. You are telling state employees to obstruct federal employees, specifically ICE. I mean, and the fact that it mentions a warrant, am I missing something here? Now, I get that as private citizens, we do have the right to remain silent. We have the Fifth Amendment and can avoid answering questions and avoid incriminating ourselves. But if you are a state employee and a federal employee comes in with a warrant, basically they have the legal authority and jurisdiction to be there, and you refuse to cooperate, you refuse to answer questions, you're undermining their federal authority. You are creating a roadblock that's preventing them from doing their job. That could allow someone to escape. Furthermore, this is legal counsel gatekeeping, because what this guidance does is it positions legal counsel, lawyers, attorneys, as the sole authority of whether or not you should comply with the federal government. I mean, imagine if we tried this on a personal level. Oh, I can't obey the federal government. I can't pay my taxes. I can't do this or that unless I have a lawyer physically present with me reviewing everything. There's no way we could get away with that. If we can't get away with that, then why is that okay for state officials? If anything, I think that this guidance, it could potentially mislead Wisconsin state employees to actually obstruct the federal government. And I think all of that is why Democrat Governor Tony Evers is now panicked. I think that's why he's worried about being arrested, and that's why he's changing his tune. So take a look at this article. This is from the MacIver Institute. Evers changes explanation on anti-ICE state employee guidance. So two things. Well, actually, it's one thing. You'll notice even in the headline, they use the word guidance, and then going back to the original email, they refer to it as guidance. Well, he's no longer referring to this as guidance. This is now legal advice. So within the article, Wisconsin's governor is offering a different explanation of the memo that tells state of Wisconsin employees not to cooperate with immigration officials. They're referring to it, you'll see that second paragraph there, as legal advice. The governor's change of heart, the lowest red box, comes less than a week after the FBI arrested Milwaukee County judge on charges that she defied ICE and helped an illegal immigrant escape her courtroom. Evers has decried that judge's arrest. Republicans in Wisconsin say the governor is putting state employees in a potentially bad spot where they may be arrested as well. And despite the fact that the guidance or legal advice itself says not to answer questions, basically don't cooperate with ICE, he's pretending we're not saying ICE can't operate. You can't have it both ways, Governor Evers. Like, come on. It's kind of hard for ICE to operate. It's kind of hard for them to do their job if you're telling your own employees not to comply and not to work with them. But as you know, they say things rot from the head down. And that is definitely true when it comes to the Democrat Party. This is not just coming at a state level. This came from their own party leadership. So back when Joe Biden was in office, he apparently is the reason why Kilmar Abrego Garcia was freed. So this headline actually was published late in April, and I didn't think much of it because it wasn't from a well-known website. Tennessee Highway Patrol confirms Biden-era FBI told officers to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia during a 2022 traffic stop despite speeding and license violations. Now, in case you don't closely follow my videos or the news, Abrego Garcia was the Maryland man who was wrongly deported to El Salvador, right? So he was caught human trafficking. He was in Tennessee. Tennessee law enforcement pulled him over, and it turned out he had 8 different passengers in his vehicle that he was human trafficking, smuggling to Maryland. They called the FBI, and the FBI, Joe Biden's FBI, told the officers to let Abrego Garcia go. And like I said, that article was published mid-April-ish, and I didn't think much of it until apparently Fox News confirmed this. They also got their hands on the body cam videotape, which backs up this reporting.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good, and you?
All right.
Everything good?
You got a bunch of people in here, don't you?
It's 1 for sick. Yes. Go back to work.
Gotcha. Where are you working at?
Where?
Where?
San Luis, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm from to Maryland.
So where do y'all live at?
Where I live in? I live in Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah, also.
Whose vehicle is it?
What, excuse me?
Whose car is it?
It's to my boss.
Your boss?
My boss, yeah.
Where's he live? Where's your boss live?
My boss right now is staying in Maryland, but he lives in Texas.
Okay.
In Houston, Texas.
After talking to Kilmar, the officers had no doubt he was trafficking.
By the way, the voice you're hearing is Fox News' Jesse Waters.
You know what you got here, right?
No.
He's hauling these people for money. You got an ass hauler is what he's doing, but sometimes they commingle dope and
No. What?
he,
Did you see that squad back
there's 8 people in there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my
He
guess.
said they all work together. Is what he's telling me, but he's the only one that knows half English.
So let me ask you this. They don't have any luggage in there, right? And if you get them out, they're going to have a tube of toothpaste, and they're going to have toothbrushes in their pockets, I guarantee you.
He's got $1,400 cash in his pocket in an envelope.
In the video, you can see one of the cops making a phone call. The body cam audio cuts out for 10 minutes. Sources told us that on that call was Joe Biden's FBI, which advised police not to detain Kilmar at the time. That source also tells us Highway Patrol called Biden's ICE, and they never showed up. Biden's guys said an MS-13 gangster, suspected human smuggler and wife beater, released into the country. God knows what he did and was never caught for before Trump deported him. Primetime will keep digging and keep you posted when we find more.
You would think that after the human smuggling allegations have been confirmed, that the Democrats would change their tune on this story, but no, they're doubling down. It's really crazy, and it just shows you, like, whose side are you on? Why are you so obsessed with this man rather than actually trying to do things for Americans? Well, he is a wife beater. He actually slapped his wife multiple times. That has now been confirmed, according to Fox News. Abrego Garcia's wife begged judge for protection order, saying he slapped me. This audio was just released earlier today, and this was inside the courtroom.
Came to fill out a protective order. I think it was in December. But I didn't show up to the court because his family washed my brain telling me that his dad was sick and not to do it. So I didn't do anything. But after that, it was I would call the police. I have a lot of police reports, and I kept trying to get to the door basement to try to open the door, and then he pushed me. So then when I was able to go outside to get a phone, I called 911 from a disconnected phone. Now they took a long time to get to the house. It was probably 20-30 minutes. So I saw a neighbor walking his dog, and I opened the door and I was like, help. And then when he heard me, he grabbed me from my hair and then he slapped me. And then the neighbor, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to react. I have pictures of the evidence, all the bruises, because even on Wednesday, he hit me around 3 in the morning. He would just wake up and hit me. And then last Saturday for my daughter's birthday party, before I went to my daughter's birthday party, he slapped me 3 times. And then last week I did call the police. My sister called the police because he hit me in front of my sister.
Democrats, what happened to believe all women? Just saying. You'll believe any and every allegation against President Trump, no matter how preposterous. Yet, once we have actual audio evidence of Abrego Garcia's wife begging for protection from her abusive husband, you couldn't care less. And of course, that's all on top of the body cam footage proving that, yes, he is a human trafficker. And that's just the time he was caught. Who knows how many other times he's done it. Now, in today's video, I would like to recognize Coyote Gray Sr. as well as Stacy L. as the members of today's Governor's Club. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. Those are people who have tipped or given super thanks to the channel. I am so glad that you enjoy the videos. So last week, the media, CNN, ran a hit piece against the new media seats in the White House, and they specifically focused on Natalie Winters. Well, she was interviewed today, and she defended her position, and I thought she did a great job. And listen to what she asked the reporter at the very end. He was unable to answer.
It's been really interesting talking to you, and...
You're not scared?
No. I'm terrified. No, what's so interesting is that when I'm talking to you, I know you have great sources in the administration and you're a journalist, but you're speaking as if you're the spokesperson for your audience.
Well,
maybe for parts of the administration.
I'm not. I think...
But that's how you sound.
Well, I think you sound like a spokesperson for someone who hates Trump.
Well, I've just been asking the questions.
Well, look, I have views, I have beliefs, just like you do. Yeah. I wear them on my sleeve, and the idea that someone is only biased because they are supportive of an America First agenda is just absurd. Everyone in that press briefing room is further to the left than I am to the right. They use that briefing room like a little area to wage information warfare against that administration,
against the American people. In that briefing room?
That's an understatement. This idea that the media is not allowed to have opinions, I just think is, again, idealistic. It's not true. It's not true. And who in there would you point to and say is unbiased? What outlet do you think I should model myself after in terms of not having a bias?
I think you should be yourself.
But I'm serious. What outlet in there do you think is actually unbiased, if there are any?
I couldn't possibly comment.
You couldn't comment because you couldn't say. There's no one else. You can say whatever you want about the new media, and yes, of course, many new media outlets are biased, but like Natalie Winters said, they wear it on their sleeve. They're not trying to be CNN. They're not trying to say, hey, we're fair and balanced and objective. No, they'll say they're right-leaning. Some of them have it in their name, right-side broadcasting. at least they're being honest and upfront about who they are. And that's why I always say that everything in my video is my analysis and commentary. Yes, I try to be factual and be very accurate with the facts, but I'm not pretending as if my commentary, my opinion, is objective truth and objective fact, if that makes sense. I think that's the biggest difference between new media being able to recognize that, being able to recognize the human who's delivering the news and that bias that shapes how we, talk to people through whatever medium versus the media who claims that they're just objective and it's just the facts and nothing but the facts. Last but not least, there is an alternative to The View that has launched. It is called Her Take. You'll notice some familiar faces here, Jillian Michaels, Lindy Lee, as well as Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks. I'm going to leave a link to that podcast. It's here on YouTube in the comments below. I think the first episode was actually really great as far as content goes. You could tell there were some technical difficulties. I mean, it was the first show. The audio is a little wonky, so if you're wearing headphones or AirPods and you decide you want to watch that podcast, you'll probably want to turn the volume down a little bit. I'm sure they'll get it fixed as they go on. Personally, I think it's a lot more compelling and definitely a lot more intelligent than the crap we get on The View, or as some of you call them in the comments, The Spew. But as always, all of that is just my analysis and commentary. That's what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So, Governor Tony Evers, do you think something will actually happen there? I mean, Tom Homan was strong with his words, and Evers definitely seems worried, or else he wouldn't have responded and released that video. Do you think he'll actually be arrested? Do you think he'll just get a slap on the wrist? Or do you think, hey, it's a big nothing burger, and we're making a big deal about nothing, and things are just going to go on, business as usual? Let me know your predictions or how you see that unfolding down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.